Okay, now we're going to move on to the final piece for this full suit of armor, and it's going to be the close helmet. So, yeah, the close helmet was developed in the latter part of the 15th century, and during the 16th century it was very popular, and there was lots of different styles, different concepts going on. What we're going to do is we're going to do kind of like a classic style. It's going to be very similar to this one here. This is a classic close helmet. It's got all the main components are the actual skull or the actual helmet top, and then it's got a bever, which is like the chin part. Then it has the ventilation, which is called the ventail, and then the visor itself, the actual visor. So we're going to start off with the actual helmet top, and then we're going to move on to the other components. This is the most time-consuming piece to make, but what's interesting is this whole suit of armor, not only am I making it cold, but I'm also making it with no welding as well. Here's an old version of that. We're going to be doing one very similar to this. It's a helmet top, maybe two halves, and it's riveted together, and then it's rolled over and crimped, the two halves, right where the comb is. Yeah, this one I made about 20 years ago. I never really finished it off, but the whole idea is, you're riveting it here at the very back of the neck and at the very front. Roll this over, and then, this will be basically one solid helmet like this. It's really hard, and it's going to be work hardened too. So, let's start to cut the pieces out. Let's get started. This is the patterns for the two-piece closed helmet top. They've been through some modifications over the years. I haven't made this version in a while. I'm just going to draw the patterns here. This is out of cold rolled 18 gauge steel. And work everything cold as usual. So this is one of the harder projects to do. It's going to take me a while. So I'll be splitting these videos up into different parts, and this will be just the helmet top or skull part. Alright, so as you can imagine, this is going to be a lot of stretching here. So I've got my line, because this has got an attached comb to it, so I can only really hammer up to this line here. So I'm going to start out you know, I have to do like 1, 2, 3 passes, but I'll start out with just one pass just to start it curving in the right direction. Okay, this will be pass 1, I think. I'm just going to make it a little bit deeper. Yeah, if you notice, I'm staying away from the collar side of it because I don't want to stretch this out. This will just end up getting just curved rather than hammered out. We don't want it to stretch it there. So now I got to get the other one to that stage too. Okay, so now I'm going to start with the second pass, although this will take more than 3 passes. It'll probably end up being probably 5 passes altogether. So I've still got my 3-pound here. But there's a subtle thing going on. You might pick it up, I'm not sure. But I was holding this hammer about here on the first pass, whereas now I'm literally almost right off of it. Because what it is I'm adding more leverage to get more power out of it. So it's the same way to hammer, but more power now. Okay, it's just starting to come out to how much I want. So I got to get them both to that stage. Then I'll change out hammers. Yeah, it's getting there. Still kind of rough looking. So what I'm going to do is, from here I'm going to go to the anvil and sort of start cleaning this up. Just hammer out all these crinkles. Then we'll go for another pass. So I'm going to try to get these wrinkles out of here. It's not a big problem at this point, but I just want to keep them in check. Okay, so now we're going to go back to this stump and start doing some more extreme stretching. So now we're going to go over the same thing all over again, except for we're going to get a bigger hammer. So I've traded up from my 3-pound hammer to my 5-pound. So I'm going to be really hammering it hard here. This stump sort of moves around on me. But yes, basically do the same routine over again, except for instead of starting here, I'll start on the middle size one and then start doing some more extreme stretching. Yeah. Yeah, you can start seeing this taking a little bit of shape now. I want to get this, just buck this down a bit. But yeah, so I'm gonna probably do a little bit of extreme stretching too as well. So I'm going from the second one to the deeper one. It's starting to kick out. Okay, we'll get the other one up to the same stage. Then we'll go back to the anvil and take the wrinkles out. So I'm using my 3-pound for this. So even though this is the plenishing anvil, I'm still careful not to scar it up. But for this, yeah, it's just I'm basically taking the wrinkles out. So. I can also start define the comb line too. I still have to be careful of that. But yeah, just kind of a basic straightening out. Yeah, you can kind of see it's going in the right direction. Okay, we're back from getting a lot of these wrinkles out of here. So now's where we start getting extreme. I want to get a lot of stretching in here. So, as usual, if you want the job done right, you got to get a bigger hammer. So, here's where we got our 10-pound. So I'm going to be sort of using my 5 and then my 10. I'm going back and forth. But at this point I want to do some extreme stretching, so I'm going to go with my 10-pound. And I'm going to go into the deep spot here. So yeah, this is where it gets loud and kind of crazy, but I want some extreme stretching here. So I just sort of go back and forth, use my 5-pound, take these wrinkles out again, and just start, isolating really deep spots that I want to stretch. So yeah, this is what's time consuming again. But we're getting what we want out of it. And bend this over the edge here. But yeah, you kind of see those big hits is what I'm shooting for, because I don't want a bunch of small hits. I want to just start really stretching it out. So we'll get the other one up to speed. Yeah, like that. Whew. Starting to break a sweat. Okay, so I got to take a little bit of breaks from time to time from hammering, but we'll keep at it. Yeah, so I'm going to get the wrinkles out with the 3-pound and come back. Yeah, starting to get some definition here. So it's here where I'm going to start getting some definition on the comb and taking the wrinkles out. So as you can see, the way I set up my planishing anvil, I got it so I can spin it around, because it's all about my light source. So I want to be able to see what I'm doing. So yeah, I'll just move this around. But again, this edge here is going to start defining the comb edge. Like not seriously yet, but I'm just sort of hinting, hammering at it to get it started. So it's like in a rough. So on, it's slowly going to start taking more shape as we go along. So that's what we're shooting for. We have to do it in increments. Now I can turn around. Find the comb edge from this side. It's getting tougher and tougher to move too because it's getting work hardened, which is good for the end result, but yeah, it's going to get tougher as we go along. So yeah, back to the stump. Okay, and I always have to remind myself to redraw with the felt pen the comb line too, because it gets blurred. I'm doing a lot of hammering. So yeah, let's go back to the 10 pound. Yeah, I'm gonna concentrate on this deep hole here. So looks chaotic, but it's doing what I want. It's really doing some extreme stretching here. And so we'll do the other one up to that same stage. Yeah, you can see it's definitely getting stretched out of shape. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get the wrinkles out, and then we'll take it from there again. So as you can see, I just go back and forth from the stump to the anvil, stump to the anvil, going back and forth. Okay, so yeah, I just came from the anvil, getting most of these wrinkles out and everything. But as you can see, it's starting to take shape. It's starting to look like helmet top. 2 halves, but this is where I'm constantly aware of trying to make sure that they're even. So whatever I do to one, I try to do the other. I mean, obviously it has to do with experience, so I've got a good eye and I can kind of see where it needs more stretching. But yeah, I'm still going to stay with a 5 pound, probably from here on in. I don't think I'll need the 10 pound anymore. I think I've got it pushed out as much as I want. Although I could use a really good hit right there too. But let's just keep going, and I'm gonna see how much I can get down here on this pass. You know, it might look like I'm randomly hitting it, but I'm very selective. I don't want to do too much close to the comb here, but I definitely want it to start coming out here. I want the apex point to be right about here, but kind of gradual. Yeah, it's starting to look better all the time. This is what it looks like from the straight at the back. Another way to tell if I'm doing things right is these become completely straight. What I mean by as like flush. So I look down here once in a while and you can see, hopefully you can see this becoming really straight here. So okay, I've got this up to that amount. Now I gotta make the other one match. Bring the front part in more, so I'm going to concentrate on that. Yeah, like I said, this is going to take a while to make them all, both of the helmets match. But yeah, as far as like if you want to calculate how long it takes to, well, we'll wait till I'm finished. But for now, just so you know, I've been at this for probably at least an hour. Yeah, probably about a little over an hour now to get to this stage. So, all right. So now from a different angle, I'm hoping you can kind of see how much I'm stretching and where I'm doing it, because at this point I'm being really specific. These tabs here, this is how this helmet gets riveted together. It gets riveted on both ends, and then the top gets rolled over. It gets crimped together. So I gotta make sure that this fits underneath here, and they match really well. So I guess this is kind of where experience comes in, but either way, just as long as you got a good eye, I can compare the two and I realize, okay, it's got to be stretched out more here or there. They're pretty close. But I see right now I've got to bring it out right here. So. And I'm going back to my 3 pound because these are just subtle stretches now. They're not really heavy duty ones. planish them to a basic state. Yeah, that's looking good. Where I can do final stretches if need be. But if not, I'll just start doing the process of cleaning it up. I can also tell it just has to come out here just a little bit more too. Right there. Yeah. So yeah, I'm at the stage where I can start planishing them to make them more defined and smoother. So because the smoother it gets, the more I could see where it needs to come out too. Because right now it's still kind of rough. It's hard to visualize. So let's go to the